Many friends in Switzerland, Belgium, Germany and other European countries, knowing I'm Scottish, ask me about the kilt. So, dear friends, I hope in the next minutes to tell you a little bit about this iconic garment. I live near the Borders region in Scotland, a land of rolling hills and rivers, grazing sheep, hinting, perhaps, to its fame as a producer of fabrics and home to Scottish weaving, in particular tartan, with its criss-crossed horizontal and vertical bands so linked to the design of the kilt, the most highly regarded of national costume in the world. The first reference to some sort of kilt was in the 16th century, when a bishop, writing to Rome from Highland Scotland, noted, "Most or some sort of mantle or wrap." These garments were dyed, using locally sourced pigments, meaning clans or groups could be identified by the colour of their dress. By the 18th century, tartan kilt fashion had flourished, the Scottish weavers creating designs, patterns and colours for every clan, and more importantly, the Scottish regiments, who had adapted the kilt as a perfect military garment, warm, hygienic, and the colours easily identifiable in battle. An attempt by Charles Edward Stuart, better known as Bonnie Prince Charming, and the Scottish Highland clans to regain the English throne in 1746, triggered King George II to ban the Highland dress. He alleged that if then worn, it would be easy to identify a Jacobite supporter and eliminate him. The tartan kilt was banned for 32 years. Some 76 years later, Sir Walter Scott, the Scottish author of Ivanhoe fame, set the kilt as a fashion craze. Asked to oversee the first royal state visit in 200 years, Scott insisted the visit of King George IV included tartan pageantry, establishing a new place for the kilt. This was quickly followed by Queen Victoria, commanding that male royalty visiting Scotland should be seen in the kilt, ensuring the Scots' identity as part of the now United Kingdom. Tartan fabric of today owes much to the Cistercian monks at Melrose Abbey. In the Middle Ages, the Abbey was amongst the Western world's biggest producers of wool, with over 25,000 sheep. The monks welcomed politically repressed Flemish weavers from Belgium, who settled in Melrose, bringing their advanced skills of production to this legendary fabric. Today, in Selkirk, at the Lochcarron Woolen Mill, the 21st century's take on the ancient craft of tartan weaving unfolds. Not the hand looms of the past, but vast computer-controlled looms, producing hundreds of yards of material a day. And, surprise, surprise, the sheep of the Borders no longer supply the wool of the modern kilt.
Lochcarron is the largest producer in the world of traditional tartans. The quality that we need for our wool products, for kilts, it's merino wool, which is imported from Australia or New Zealand. It is imported as fleece. It's made into yarn and dyed on site.
The creamy white yarn arrives at Loch Carron and is firstly wound onto flexible cones for dyeing, then spin dried and finally finished off in an oven at 16 Celsius.
There's, in most tartans, which we have over 800 in stock, there's usually black or navy blue or scarlet. So that can be bought in already the shades that we need to weave the fabric. But 80% of the yarn we'll dye ourselves.
Then starts the warping. Coloured yarns are arranged in the unique order required for the tartan, in a warp bank, ready to be fed onto a warp loom. The length required is then moved onto a weaving loom. The weft yarn threaded in between the warp, one strand raised, the other lowered. Computers have taken over the ancient process, faster and more efficient, without compromising the integrity of this ancient Scottish tradition. After weaving, computer technology gives way to the most detailed inspection. Dot Wilson has many years' experience. She ensures that no tartan leaves until perfect, examining every inch of fabric produced, using a traditional sewing needle and thread to remedy any fault or flaw she finds. Even then the fabric is not ready. It has to be finished. Loch Garron send the fabrics to Schofield's, a name synonymous throughout the fashion world as one of the best finishers.
I've been here for over 35 years now. I started off as a mill engineer and I'm now general manager. We are Schofield Dyers and Finishers, and we're a commission finishing company. So we take fabric in from weavers all over the UK, from Ireland, the north of Scotland, south of England, a lot from Ireland and Wales. And we basically scour the fabric to make sure it's clean. And we also prepare it for whatever end use it happens to be, whether it's kilts, which will be pressed and decayed, or scarves or throws. So nothing belongs to us. We just process the goods that come into us and send them back to the customer as they are.
Fabrics are washed, softened. The cleaning process to remove any dust, grit or fluff that may have found its way onto the fabric at any stage of the weaving. Finally, the kilt can be tailored, and the ancient traditions are still the same today as in the past, apart from the fact a kilt shop is visited. In towns all over Scotland, shops like this in Galashiels can be found. Mike Lindsay has a lifetime of experience of Scottish traditions.
Yes, I play with the Edinburgh Postal Pipe Band, and we also have a country dance team. And well, this is my 43rd year there. For my sins, I'm the secretary as well as a drum major. But I'm a drummer at heart. I'm a proper musician. I don't have any ready-made kilts. It's all bespoke tailoring for anybody who wants kilts, and tartan trews as well. We have a stock of tartan trews that we hire, and we make trews as well, which are becoming very popular. All our kilts are hand stitched. We only advertise hand stitch, and hand stitch means 100% hand stitch. My kilt maker Jan doesn't even own a sewing machine. She doesn't even have a sewing machine in her house or in her workshop.
I've worked for myself now for 23 years, but I've been making kilts for 43 years, and I started in 1976. I have done an American that was a 74-inch waist, and there was 12 yards of material in his kilt, but it was lovely. but yeah, but I still love my job.
So today, many of the ancient traditions of the kilt still exist, save one perhaps, the famous Highland charge, when soldiers would simply undo their belt and allow their plaids to drop to the ground, so they could run and fight unhindered.